You know, when I first got this truck, I was just excited the factory installed stereo came with a touchscreen. But the novelty of that wore off pretty quick. So I installed one of Pioneer's top-notch in-dash receivers, and with it I got navigation and HD radio and better smartphone integration. But the more I could use my smartphone, the more I did, and there was just one big problem. I kept having to pick it up. And that's where Apple's CarPlay comes in. It attempts to put all of the popular functions of your iPhone up on the screen and enhances Siri so you don't have to pick up your phone. First, you've got to get CarPlay loaded onto your in-dash receiver. Pioneer makes 6 different models that can be upgraded to CarPlay, and all you have to do is grab yourself a USB flash drive or an SD card and throw it into the system. It'll automatically start the update process. So it's important to note that CarPlay doesn't completely take over your car stereo. You can see I still have the original Pioneer interface here, but I can easily access CarPlay, and likewise I can get back to the Pioneer's home screen. It's easy to switch between the two. So here's the CarPlay home screen, and right now these are the only apps that you can access, though more will be added later. And you can see we have the most popular options here. So with many of these apps, as soon as I press the icon, Siri is going to get engaged. So we'll pull up phone here.
With whom would you like to speak?
Robert Downey Jr.
Calling Robert Downey Jr.
And of course, Siri will go ahead and call my buddy Robert Downey Jr. We'll go ahead and end that call. But then it's going to lead me back here with a familiar interface. I've got access to my favorites list, my recent calls, my entire contacts are here. I can pull up my keypad if I want to, and I can access voicemail. Let's say I don't really want to call Robert Downey Jr. He likes to talk a lot, so I'll just text him instead. Press the messages icon.
To whom shall I send this?
Robert Downey Jr.
Okay, what do you want to say to Robert Downey Jr.?
Hey man, I thought we were getting together for lunch this afternoon. What's the deal?
Your message to Robert Downey Jr. says, "Hey man, I thought we're getting together for lunch this afternoon. What's the deal? Ready to send it?"
And at this point, I can choose to continue, or I can change the message, or just cancel it altogether. Now let's say that somebody sends me a text message while I'm in the middle of driving. I want to know what it is, but I don't want to pick up my phone and read it. It's dangerous and it's illegal besides that. So I've received a message from Dr. Dre, it looks like.
You have a message from Dr. Dre. Can I borrow some headphones? Would you like to reply?
Yes.
Okay, what do you want to say to Dr. Dre?
No, I think you've got enough headphones already.
Your message to Dr. Dre says, "No, I think you've got enough headphones already. Ready to send it?"
Yes.
Okay, I'll send it.
So you can tell, and this is just part of Siri, there's delays between the commands and the execution. That's just kind of par for the course. And until Siri gets improved a little bit, that's what the CarPlay experience is going to be about. And that's indicative a lot of what happens with CarPlay. It's being driven by the phone. So even though there's an interface here in the dash, it's still driven by your iOS device. Things like music are a little bit more simple and straightforward. You can pull up iTunes Radio, of course, or you can access your artist list or the various different playlists that you may have created. You can also access things by songs or albums, of course. But you know, the one app that I was really looking forward to using was Spotify. I pretty much stream all of my music from Spotify, and I was really looking forward to having the interface right here in my dash. The only problem is Spotify has been extremely buggy for me. Now I can navigate pretty easily. Say I want to pull up one of my playlists here, and I'll start the shuffle play, and then nothing. It's just going to sit here. It may pull up my list of songs. It might not. I never know exactly what I'm going to get. See, for instance, here I can see a bunch of different songs that I have, but if I pick one, it may or may not start to play for me. So if I go to now playing, I can see it's already busy trying to play a song. It's not going to interrupt it. As you can see, we're kind of dead in the water here. Now this is the first iteration of a CarPlay capable Spotify app, and we can expect this to be updated soon, I hope, and it'll probably solve a lot of these problems. But if you, like me, were really excited to use Spotify on CarPlay, you're going to need to be patient while they get this stuff sorted out. By far my favorite part of CarPlay is the Maps integration. It's a lot more intuitive than most GPS systems, and you get to leverage the power of Siri to help you out sometimes. So let's say I'm looking for a cup of coffee somewhere. Find me a Starbucks.
I found quite a few places matching Starbucks pretty close to you.
So I can pick the one I want, and it's instantly going to route me. All I have to do is tell it to start.
Starting route to Starbucks. Head west on Southeast Ankeny Street, then turn right onto Southeast Floral Place.
And we're off. But let's say I get a text message from somebody while I'm en route somewhere, and I need to reroute in the middle of things. Looks like I just got a message from Tim Cook. Let's check that out.
You have a message from Tim Cook. 1 Infinite Loop, Cupertino, California. Would you like to reply?
No.
That's all your messages.
So now that I know that he sent me an address for me to go to, I'm actually going to go back into Maps. I'm going to end what I'm doing, click on Destinations, and I should have, sure enough, I've got directions down to Apple HQ in Cupertino ready to go within my list of destinations. And of course, anywhere else I've been recently or any other text messages I may have received, there's our office in New York. It'll instantly load them up for me and I can get moving. Looks like I've got a pretty long ride ahead of me. Let's make it even longer. Here's another one of those quirks I was talking about. Why can't I zoom in anymore? I mean, I can zoom out just fine, but zooming in, no good. So I unplug my phone, plug it back in, CarPlay reboots, and suddenly I have the functionality back. And that's kind of a trend. If something isn't working, you just unplug the phone and plug it back in. At the end of the day, Apple Maps gets the job done.
Starting route to Southwest 5th Avenue. In 3.4 miles, exit left onto I-5 South towards City Center.
But you may find it's not a wholesale replacement for your favorite nav device. It doesn't offer some of the detailed features many dedicated nav systems do. But Maps is going to evolve, and when it does, CarPlay evolves with it. The takeaway here is that with CarPlay, Apple Maps is an almost entirely hands-free experience, and no other navigation system so seamlessly integrates with what is most people's central information hub these days, their iPhone. With its bugs and quirks, it seems pretty clear that CarPlay came out a little bit early. I feel like a CarPlay beta tester right now. But that's okay, because I can tell that Apple is going to deliver on its promise to bring the iOS experience to the dashboard. And that's a good thing, because it's what people have been craving, and it's a lot safer than picking up your phone. It's also good to know that not only is it available in select aftermarket decks, but this is going to be a factory installed experience soon.